How you're doing, Ralfy here, Ralph Customs, Champion Part 3. Okay, here we go then, part 3. The fitting of parts. Now those keen-eyed amongst you will notice there's been a change. You see this tube, the top tube, has got a kink in it now, and those rails flow nicer. I fucking look at that silhouette. That is fucking lush. A friend of mine, I'll call him a friend, an associate who shall remain nameless, Barney. Lots of love. He came and had a look, right? So I don't have callers in the week because I'm fucking here doing it or I'm at home. He came and had a look and said those immortal words, didn't you think of putting a kick down in the top tube, Ralphie? And I was like, oh, I gave him some, I weren't sure about the filters and the cover and the tank and stuff. And I just, fucking hell, all night. So all night I'm looking at pictures. I ain't even shitting. All that evening I'm looking at pictures and I came to the conclusion that first thing this morning, I'd be chopping it up and doing that fucker. So that's what I've done. Much happier. Righto. Now, I've been screwing my fucking gears over these bottom radiator mounts, and as well as the radical rethink on the frame, not radical, it cost me a morning. This fucker, again Barney, fuck me, he's got an eye, points out these things, I've missed it, this was off, it was a fucking 1/8 of an inch too high. There you go. So anyway, got a new rad. This is a slightly different fucking debris for the mounts. There's a better shot. Look, for the rubbers. They go underneath. They catch locating rubbers underneath. I want to keep that. So I've spun up some debris. One's really hot. It's that one. Bastard. I've spun up some debris. And they're going to locate. Here we go. In that with a little fucking sticky out bit. I can't do it one-handed. There we go. And then they sit on the frame. Somewhere around there, pulling it right. So we'll get a glove and a safety squints on, and we'll get them tacked in place. And there she is on the wheels. On the wheels, so I'm going to use a few, I'm not sure about the front end now. I was thinking of making a touch-to-top yoke, and then I thought maybe I'll do a wide glide, because the discs off the donut bike don't fit these fucking wheels, do they? But quick walk around. Hey, you need to sort of stand out. You need to sort of rear caliper fucking when it comes. Mount. And so it begins. Okay, so this 12mm plate is probably going to make a spacer to space the sprocket off 8mm. I'm going to lift that up by a bit less than that. Yeah, just get those nuts down to where they're biting, which is about there. We're going to lift it up by that because the wheel don't quite sit in the middle of the frame. Part of the ongoing is that after I'd done the frame, the wheels came. Decided to use these 3-spoke wheels instead of the standard 6-spoke, these ones, just because they look nicer, no other reason, pure vanity. But the fucking spacing ain't the same, is it? The discs don't fit on the front, yada yada. Spacing is good, it's just a disc to do, not too shabby. Back one's all over the fucking shop. But we can, over overcome that adversity. We can. We're going to make a little spacer to space the sprocket, and in effect we're going to push the wheel across 8mm, and then it'll be near as fuck it is to swearing, bang on in the middle. We know the drive line's true now, I've got that true now, but I've actually offset the wheel a little bit and I'm not happy with that. There you go. Sportster tanks come, we can get that mounted, and we're definitely making a slab yoke, one top yoke. We're going to polish and clean up the bottom yoke and keep it standard width at the front. I don't know if I can turn this. Well, yeah, I can. Because that, with a Sportster, yeah, nothing wrong with that. That's going to look fucking great. Isn't it? Yeehaw! Here we go, more overreaching the capacity of the machine. This plate's about 8 inches. I know it looks bigger, but that's according to what you're used to. And this should have a 4-inch throat. Oh, it gets fucking worse, doesn't it? So I'm hoping we can go one way and then the other way, and then we can have it cut out. Fingers crossed, eh? You're creeping up on it. I reckon we're going to do it. Yeehaw! Okay, so we've cut out this plate that we're going to make the sprocket spacer out of. I was going to make it out of aluminium, but a few people commented saying don't, it should be made out of steel. I don't agree. I think aluminium will be fine. Having said that, I'm going to make a steel fucker and it'll last forever, won't it? So what I've done, you may notice I've got the 4-jaw. Rarely used, rarely seen this 4-jaw, because we've got a bit of square plate that we're holding on to, and I'm going to bore the centre out. That's going to mimic the hub the sprocket sits on. So we're going to copy that in this bit. That's going to drop onto the wheel, if you like, onto the hub, the sprocket carrier. That's the fucking word. And then we're going to spin it around and we're going to machine it to take the sprocket and then over to the milling machine to put the 6 holes in. 5 holes in, there you fucking go. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to drill this centre out. I need to get things rolling. You can speed this up a little bit, I believe. There we go. Maybe not quite that fast. 480, what's that in the middle, and that right over. Yeah. So we're going to use the power feed. I'm going to get this centre of this plate taken out, and then we're going to get boring with it. So you can bear with me as this goes on. That's over that. There's nothing wrong with that. We just need to break through. 12mm plate, taking half-inch hole, 13.5mm hole, got it. There we go. I'll swap out to a bigger bit, and now we're out to a nice chunky bit that will let me get the boring bar in there. So we'll slide it down a little bit. I don't think we'll be doing any of this running too fast, because we've got a big square of fucking steel hanging out of the lathe, haven't we? We're not going that wing and pass her here all at fucking 80 miles an hour. So we'll take this through and then we'll switch out to a boring bar. Looking lovely. Now we're in with that boring bar. Flinging chips every fucking way. I need to set that to 100mm. Before I need worry about machining it to a specific size and shape, so I'll join you again at 100ish. Okay, so you joined me a little while later. We're just doing a final light cut, the 60 thou cut, to take us out to that nominal 100mm. That's not a finished size for any of this job. It just gives me a nice starting point. So now what I need to do is, look at that, it's opened up plenty, isn't it? Hey, it's amazing what a good spin around and a bit of lube will do. We're right close to these jaws. That's why I stopped at 100. We're ever so close to the inside jaws. We're almost touching that one as it's set. What I need to do now, I need to face this off rightly. Fucking it's hot, hotter than a pistol, as Nick Collier says, harder than a pistol. I need to face it off lightly, so we'll just touch on 0, and we'll take a very light cut off, and then we need to open this hole out to 120 millimeters, and it needs to be 4.5 mil deep, and then that'll sit on the disc sprocket carrier. That will sit on the sprocket carrier, just P-check. Then we need to flip it around and machine this outside diameter down and leave a little step for the sprocket to sit on. We might switch out to the 3-jaw for machining the outside and hold it internally, and I've got a splinter in my finger where I've dug a splinter out. Look. Oh, shitty, isn't it? Anyway, give that a gentle face off. Let's just check that we're free of the jaws. Yeah, so we can just touch off like that, and then move in a little bit. And that's going the wrong way. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Just turn my drive around if I can. There we go. Now, no, sorry about that. Yeah, now you fucker, you can take a light cut off this face. Very, very light cut, just to establish it true to the circle and flat. And we know that we've got a nice reference to work off there. That's cutting lovely. Put a bit of lube on, because that's what separates us from the animals, eh boy? And while that'll work its magic, the entire thing is only not too massive. I don't know the OD, 150, which is what we're creeping up on now. But either way, I'll get this faced off and then start making that relief cut, and you can join me in a bit. Right, so we're about at the 120 by 4.5. Just finish this by hand. Takes us down to 120, and that takes us down to, well, about 4.5. There we go. That's that side done. Now we need to flip it around and machine the OD down to take the sprocket. I'm thinking 3-jaw and hold it internally, but then that's going to get in the way. Let me have a think about this. Okay, so what I've ended up doing is flipping it around and spacing it off from the back here, from the jaws, and I've given myself my cut. If I'm just skimming the jaw, that's 3 mil, I think. Let's check. That's 4 mil, and I want 3 mil. So I want to make a lip on here that's 120 mil across and sticks out 3 mil. That's what I'm going to make. And then we can take the middle out to whatever we fancy, really. Leave that lip 4 or 5 mil thick, and then it just leaves the outer, and I will change to the 3-jaw and grip it in the centre. Then I've got more of a stronghold on it. If I do it that way. So I've put it in, I've trued it up using the tried and tested, can't go wrong, inside the hole and to the face. I'll get this out of the way and we'll start taking cuts to face this off and leave that little lip that's at 120 diameter, 3 mil deep. Okay, we've gone to a high-speed steel bit. I'm struggling to find a tool that will reach this far out and still give me the right relief when I get down there. I could switch to carbide and rough it out, which I might end up doing. I'm just taking a very light cut, a 1/10 of a millimetre, 4th out, just to get things rolling. And this interrupted cut's not ideal, but so far, so fucking good. We'll just keep chipping away at it nice and gently until we get somewhere near. That high-speed cell is actually making a really nice job of it. It's a really gentle cut though, but it's just to size it for me sizing, you know what I mean? So I've took a rough measurement, and so far the ring I'm forming is about 30mm too big. So I'm going to rough it down to 120 something, and then we'll go 4mm deep and finish it to size nicely when we get down there. A little bit of lube, a little bit of smoky gel action, and I'll see you in a bit. So we've switched out to a carbide tip because basically the interrupted cut just fucking smashed up my high-speed stick. Didn't smash it up, it took the edge off. So we've gone on to carbide. They're a little stronger and we can always turn them round. They don't like hard impact though. So I figure it's going to have more longevity than my carbide tool, than my high-speed steel tool. And we'll get there, it'll be fine. Right, lots of curly-whirly action going on. Just unloosen my cabbage and clear some of these chips out of the way. These are fucking smoky. Jesus, bad as hell. Bear with. Now, what I'm going to do is angle this tool so it gives me a nicer radius in this lip. And what I'm really screwing my gears over is the fact that I think I've made a fucking, what's that, 9mm less the 4mm gives me 5mm, and I wanted 8 if I could get it, but I don't think the studs are going to support that. I think I'm going to be too short on my nuts. So I'm going to have to settle for that. For 9 less 4 is 5mm. Fucking hell. We'll see. We will see. Either way, let's get this tool squared up. See if we can reach in there. Yeah, there, nearly. So that's as far out as we can come. Yeah, it's going to do us great. So I'm going to square up that corner, bear with. Just touch on there. Zero everything up. I'm happy with that actually. Just need to and we'll measure that. And we know that it wants to be 120, doesn't it? So give it a measure. The minute it measures. 124.9, we'll put that 125, so X is 125, we're on 5 now off it. That's not too bad. We'll get that down in short order. 121 and a half, 121, 120 and a bit. It should be 120 on the fucking money. Set that down to face. And then bring that out. There we go. So now the sprocket that probably won't fit on the lathe. Should fit on there. You go. Don't do me. So there's your spacer. We need to take some off this because it doesn't need to be that thick. And then we need to put it in the 3 drawer and take some off this, make this round basically. So I'll do that off camera. I'll do this off camera. Maybe do the outside bit off camera because the machining on this segment, this video, has got quite long. But there you go. That's roughed out one disc spacer. So a quick tap, tap, tap. I might increase the speed actually. As I machine this to round now, that's where bit's going to be round. It's going to be 157 I've worked out. OD, thereabouts. And then it just needs some holes drilling in it. I think. I don't know if I'm going to take it to the milling machine and shape it. We'll see. But I thought I'd finish off this bit with a dinkety. Oh, why not? Well, just to include, look, I'm nearly through. I'm nearly down to round, but it's deflected. Oh, it's hot. It's deflected. Look, fucking hell, gleaming. So there's a million scars waiting to happen, laying there all blue and fucking nasty. And we'll just get a machine this round now. Okay, that's that fitted, finished. Fuck off. That's that finished and fitted. Sprocket goes on. Nuts go on. Ratty-tatty-tat. Now spaces it out lovely. What I didn't film was remaking these wheel spacers. So we've shoved the spacer behind the sprocket there. And we've had to space the wheel across. The problem was that, and take up the slack that side, I'm really pleased with how this sits. I've got that lovely. I'm not pleased, however, with the fucking bracket that comes with it. I don't know what we're going to do about that. That's going to see a bit of milling machine action for sure. That is to put it in a place that's prettier. I could mount it. Anyway, I've mocked it up. So the seat's mocked up. We're going to make some stainless, some steel spacers, bobbins type things that go on the frame that the springs sit on. The tank's marked up. I'm ever so pleased with that. And what I like is the front end suits the width of the tank, if that makes sense to you. If you have an eye for such things, I ain't doing a wide glide. It's going to fuck up my mud guard and all sorts. I've got enough to do with it. Getting the disc to fit, ain't I? So, yeah, fucking jobs are good. Okay, so what we're making is a fucking mess. We're making the rear spring bracket holder fucking seat things. We're going to have a little R-clip that goes through this spring, but it needs to stand off this tube, obviously. Not obviously, but it does need to stand off this tube to a degree. No pun intended. What I've made is these brackets that are 25mm round long with a spigot on the end to take the spring sits over it, R-clip goes through, washer, R-clip, job done. No fucking about nuts and bolts at the side of the road or wherever. And I've bored the bottom out with where misses. I'm going to machine it now. I'm going to contour it for the frame rails with my inch bit. And I just wanted to show you the setup. You don't need to see me machining it particularly. There's a lot of machining already in this video. So got a fuck off V-block, sorry. It looks like an X. I don't know why I said that. Well, I do, because it looks like an X. So we've got an X block. We've got a V-block there holding it on the back jaw. And we're hard against this, the moving jaw, hard against the back jaw, the fixed jaw. And I've set the cut off for 25mm off this, you know, the outside edge. So it's on centre with these parts. I'm just going to keep it at depth, look, to make a cut and wind it in. We're going to go 10mm, I reckon. Near enough's good enough. That'll give us a relief still for welding, so we're not welding inch solid where my seat's going to go. I'm going to weld it onto the thinner contour diameter, look, thinner wall. Fucking hell, my words. Get your words out, Ralfy. I know what I mean. So that's what we're on with. I'm going to mark it off now at that 10, 12mm, whatever. And machine up to that. And like I said, I'll do that off camera. And I'll show you when I've propped them, mocked them up on the frame there, ready to mount the tank. I'm waiting for the mud guard. That's what's holding me back. I've not got the rear mud guard, so I can't drop that in and get an accurate position for the seat. But we need to make top brackets anyway. Some stainless ones that are going to bolt on there. It'd be quite nice. Again with the R-clip. So let's do it. Righto. So we're mocked up city, awaiting the rear mudguard. You get the picture with these, they're too long. There's going to be complementary ones in stainless coming down a little bit, and these are going to be shorter hopefully, depending on where the guard sits. We need a bit of room, don't we? Bit of tool roll there as well, you know, so it won't look too out on stilts. That bolt needs chopping down to miss, and that sexy bracket needs welding on somewhere around there. That's kind of marked up. We'll wait till the mudguard comes, and then we'll make those to length and make the top ones some stainless bobbins that'll emulate. They might even screw on the stainless ones. Don't need R-clips both ends, do you? So there you have it. That is as far as I can get this week. It just leaves me, as always, to thank you so much for watching. Please give me a like and a sub and hit the notification bell and all that silly bollocks. Check out my friends in the description below and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Lots of love, everyone. Catch up with you soon.